lawful wedded husband.
To be my...
Barbara not Barbara Jean's heart. With a tramp like you?
Well, I know it hurts being third rate, but aren't you accustomed to it yet?
Oh, Robin, I see you. I myself the slut of Springfield!
Son of a bitch in heat.
I found out myself what love is all about.
Hey everybody, it's me, Nikki. Hey everybody, welcome to Ranting with Ricardo. It is me. We are here to talk about what them soaps. But before we get into all of that, don't forget to hit the links in the description box down below. Vote.gov and vote.org to keep, make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you're up to date about all the people on the ballots, all their policies, and what they're, running for office off of. Okay, it's a trickle-up system. Now let's be clear on something. You need to be, registered to vote before October 7th, but you really need to register to vote now if you want to vote in all your local elections. And also another thing, if it wasn't important for you to vote, if you voting wasn't important, they wouldn't be trying to snatch your rights away. So go ahead and, hit them links, okay, and vote to your heart's desire, okay, because it's up to you to choose who's going to be your local city councilman, who is going to be your sheriff, who is going to be on the board of education, and so many more important things that will shape what your town, your city, your county, your parish, your state looks like. So go ahead and get out there and vote and register as well and keep up to date about all the things going on. Also, don't forget to hit the subscription button and also hit those notification bells so you can be up to date about everything. So let's really get into it, okay? Listen, Willow really is trying not to act like she don't want to hunch on Drew and roll around like two raw chicken cutlets, but that's what she want to do, and she's not doing a good job of being inconspicuous. She want that man, and she gonna try to force herself to love on Michael even more, but it's only gonna force her to want to go and do some real nasty things with Drew. Just being honest, just being real. I saw the way she was looking at his chesticles. Sasha is being a part of Violet's village, and we love to see it, and now she's encouraging Violet to keep her diary and keep writing, and also Violet's going to be helping her in the kitchen, and she's going to teach her how to cook. We love it. Teach the children, let them lead the way. Teach the children how to cook, so when they become adults, they don't spend a whole bunch of money out here buying out food, unless they want to buy out food. Like I typically have, I buy out food because I have a craving for it, or it'll be like, it's going to take too long for me to cook, but I know how to cook. I've learned how to cook at the age of 6. I was cooking, meals at 7. Okay? Teach them well and let them lead the way and let them be self-sufficient. Okay? We love to see Violet's village around her. Where can I go with it? Oh, Ava and... Before we get into Ava, Jack Brennan, y'all know John Brennan. Brennan is what we're going to call him. You don't know the man we wanted Carly to be with. Okay, the one who, brought a little zip tie to the party because he was trying to get a little kinky with Carly. Okay, I don't know if zip ties have been a big issue with people when, they want to tie people up. I don't know the issues it causes, but, I don't shame kinks unless it's something extreme. And a little zip tie ain't never hurt nobody. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Get on down. Anna went down to the prison. Girl, the prison say they ain't never heard of that man. That man ain't never been there. Don't nobody remember that man. They don't have no records. And Anna's like, what is going on? And it's just like, girl, it's the WSB written all over it. Written all over our faces. They done came in there and they done wiped him out. Girl, I think, and the only way to rehab this and bring Valentine back, girl, what if Fake Jagger has been working with Pikeman and he has set all these people up, or they don't know he's working with Pikeman and he's in charge of all of this and he's trying to take Sonny down as a act of revenge because Sonny was a better brother to Stone than Fake Jagger ever was, but also because he's trying to take over Sonny's territory. Or what if this John Jagger or whatever ain't even really the real Jagger? I call him Fake Jagger for a reason. So yeah, John Brennan is missing. Ava and Fake Jagger is over there in the hotel room kissing on each other and relishing in the fact that Fake Jagger, without Ava knowing who his witness is, has sent Jason out of town to try to manipulate Jason into doing what fake Jagger wants, but also to manipulate and get Sonny to lose his mind and have an episode, and that way they could put him in prison and Ava could have full custody of Avery. So they're just relishing in this, they're just rejoicing, they're just having a good old time, and it's just like in the 11th hour, y'all gonna see that this wasn't the right way to go, and this whole revenge plot definitely wasn't the right way to go, because y'all gonna get y'all's, and I can foresee it now. I'm Raven Baxter up in this hole. Y'all gonna get it, and when y'all get it, it ain't gonna be good. Okay, get while the getting's good. Y'all not gonna get it. And they kissing and ugh, like two raw chicken cutlets. I'm disgusted. Okay, where are your morals? Where are your values as a mother, Ava? Really? Really, girl? Okay. And they just kissing and they just having a good time. And she like, you want to drink it? He was like, listen, you only got vodka. I drink scotch. Let me go get my scotch from my room. Only to go to his room and realize his key card don't work. And he tries it multiple times. So he heads his raggedy tail down to the front desk. Now Diane and Sonny are having a meeting because Ava was granted temporary supervised visitation rights, and Sonny wants her to put the kibosh on it, but Diane was like, listen, Ava is known to be a victim and act a victim, and she's good at playing it. So if you let the supervised visitations happen, it could show that you're not trying to keep Avery away like she's trying to claim. And Sonny is upset about it, and he's like, listen, she over here playing damsel in distress for fake Jagger, and Diane's, worried about it because it's just like, oh no, baby, this could hurt our case. But by the time fake Jagger gets downstairs, before he get downstairs, Carly is letting the front desk clerk know, listen, when he come down here, tell him he got an hour to get all his stuff up out of here because he out on the street. And when Gio and Jocelyn come down to let, Carly know they off of work, they done shut down the pool and everything, Gio goes to, talk to Sonny after Jocelyn explained that the person Sonny is talking to is Diane, who's a lawyer. Jocelyn sees her mom and she wants to know what's going on. And Carly's like, I'll talk to you about it later. And she was like, no, we're going to talk about it right now. So they go and talk. And Carly explains that Jason has been sent out of town and everything that's going on. And in walks fake Jagger. And Carly let loose on that man. She let him know, you got to get the fuck up out of my hotel. You can't stay at my establishment. He talked about you can't do that. She said, as the part owner, co-owner, I can do whatever I want. And I can refuse service to people I like or people I hate. Okay, it really don't matter. And he was like, call Jason. If you call Jason, you can see I can stay. And she like, listen, keep his name out of your mouth. And she lets loose on him. She like, listen, you want to prove I'm this big bad mob boss? You talk about I committed RICO violations. Go ahead and arrest me because I'm not a mob boss. I didn't commit no RICO violations. I want my day in court. And he like, listen, don't want to do this. She like, I don't care. Arrest me. So he started reading her rights. She trying to, fake her out for her to take it back. And she hold them wrists up like, go ahead, slap the cuffs on me. And Diane, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I don't want to go over there while they was arguing. But when he started doing that, Diane goes over and she like, listen, your case ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna win. He telling Diane, yes, I will. Anna walks up in there. Sonny is like, hey, you had something to do with this, didn't you? I know you. You had something to do with this because you felt some type of way about me. And Anna was like, I ain't had nothing to do with this. I don't agree with him arresting her. And Sonny was like, well, go do something then. Go stop it. So Anna go over there. She trying to speak on Carly's behalf, and fake Jagger don't want to hear it. He marches Carly right up out the hotel. So Carly, before she get marched up out of there, she tells Jocelyn, go to the bus station, stop Jason from leaving, let him know what's going on. So Jocelyn and Gio, they run up out of there, they go to the bus station. He do the march of Carly up out of there. And at the bus station, Jason, he looking at his ticket. He got 30 minutes until they board. And he hears Danny call out his name. Now, Danny, when they talked earlier, had heard the announcement about where he was going. So he had Yuri bring him down there. And, they talking, they having a heart-to-heart. And Danny's like, where you going? And Jason's like, I can't tell you because I don't want you to be a part of that part of my life. if the boathouse was any indication, I don't want you mixed up with anything. I don't want you to have to lie about anything to your mama, to the police, to nobody. Does Jason know that fake Jagger rolled up on his son like he was in a training bra and tried to get him to snitch on his father and was threatening that boy? I don't think he do. But listen, that might be the thing that unites everybody to go ahead and get fake Jagger the hell up out of Port Charles. Just being honest, just being real. And Scott, I don't know what the hell you doing, but you need to figure it out and get on the winning team, ho. Get on the winning team. So they just, talking, and, Danny's like, I don't want you to go. And Jason's like, I don't want to go, but I made choices. And, I regret some of the choices I made. And I don't regret some of the choices I made. Some I do, some I don't. But we'll see each other again. And I love you. And listen, I left the key to my motorcycle with Carly. She's going to give it to you. And ask your mama to take you out on a motorcycle ride. Obviously with the helmets, of course. And he's like, she ain't going to let that happen. And Jason was like, you know what? You're right. She ain't gonna let that happen. So they have a heart to heart, and Danny's like, listen, I'm gonna just wait on you. I'm gonna wait till you come back, okay? I'm gonna wait. And I like riding with you anyway. And Danny's like, I'm gonna wait because I know you'll be back and I'll miss you and I love you. And Jason says, until next time. And before Jason goes to get on that bus, here come Jocelyn and Gio at the final hour, at the 11th hour they run in and let them know what's happening. So we get on down to, Diane. Okay, she talking to Jason in his room above Bobby's. Obviously, he didn't get on the bus. And they talking about the case, and Jason's like, I'm gonna just take the blame for everything. I'll just take the blame for everything, and I tell them I told her what to say. And Diane was like, that's not gonna work. Y'all still gonna end up in trouble, and Carly and Sonny might actually end up going to jail because it's gonna be a conspiracy charge. And she's telling him, listen, my thing is, in my mind, my defense is saying that Carly lied about, tell the jury that Carly lied about the information she had to save herself and her children from the mob families. And he just so desperate to help. And Diane's like, listen, just show up in a courtroom. Show Carly that you're here. Show her you have your support. Be calm. Don't do nothing crazy because it's going to keep her from having a meltdown. Okay? We want to keep her from having a meltdown. And Jason's like, I have another idea. Let's go tarnish, fake Jagger's reputation. So after, Diane leave, fake Jagger shows up, and he tells Jason, we had a deal, and the deal will come out in trial, and the deal will come out in trial for Jason being a trial because Jason would be a witness for prosecution. And I have a proposition for you. I'll let Carly off the hook. All you gotta do is deliver Sonny. And it's just like, you want him to deliver Sonny because, once again, Sonny was a better brother to your brother than you ever were. You visited Stone once while he was dying, and you didn't show up to his funeral. You're pathetic. Let it go. Go find you something safe to do. Go raise your son. My God. And Jason ain't gonna take that deal, because listen, he'll destroy you before he give up Sonny. It ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna win. So Anna and Dante, they down to the police station. They talking. And Sonny's downstairs. Anna don't care. And she's like, stay and talk about Brennan. And Dante was like, I remember who he is. And Anna was like, okay, so I haven't imagined his existence. Considering he vanished from Pentonville, he not there no more. And she explained that Pentonville has no records of Brennan ever being there. The guards denied his existence. The PCPD purged all his records, paper and electronically. And she shows Dante the empty file. And she was like, this is WSB. WSB's fingerprints written all over it. And he's like, why would they wipe out him, even his... they're wondering if the WSB wiped out his hospital records when he was stabbed in May. But also wonder why the PCPD would even care about what happened to Brennan. And she's like, listen. She tells him about everything about Carly and how Brennan was connected to it. And Dante's still confused. And she was like, she thinks that Brennan had leverage over fake Jagger. And I think he did. What if this whole thing of really I'm just trying to take you down and trying to put Sonny in jail. Okay, thought, what if fake fake Jagger's son Stone, okay, Stone the second, um had been kidnapped, and that is the leverage they had over fake Jagger, and to get Sonny out of play and put Sonny away so they can rule Port Charles. That's my thought. It's a little conspiracy theory. Ain't never heard about it. So Sonny is in the interrogation room with Carly, and Sonny is like, I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna help you everything in my power, because he's gone too far. And Carly's like, I want you to let Diane handle things. And Sonny was like, what the hell did you get into? And she was like, you died, and I took your place. And she gets into it, and let's be clear, Nina was the root of this problem. Had Nina let Sonny come home, Carly would have never been at that meeting. Had Nina told somebody that Sonny was alive, Carly never would have been at that meeting, and it would have never been a situation of having to break Jason out of prison. Because the truth would have came out. But because that didn't happen, Sonny was in Nixon Falls. Nina kept him all to herself. Jason broke out of the hospital and had to go back and save Britt and Cameron and took off. So Carly came in dressed in her all white like a No Limit soldier and had to let them know what time it was. So boom, we get into that. And she was like, you was dead. Jason was indisposed. I had to go to the meeting. And he was like, he knew that, but he was like, how are they able to charge you with this? And she said somebody at the meeting was wearing a wire and gave the evidence to the FBI and I. So Carly explains the FBI had a recording and they were using it as leverage to get Jason to work for them and be an informant, or I would go to prison. And Sonny is pissed off to learn that, okay, so this whole time I'm thinking Jason has been, working with the FBI to try to take me out, but really he's trying to protect Carly. And the reason he's been trying to protect Carly is because fake Jagger is trying to send her to prison if Jason don't help. And Carly explains that he also wanted Jason for another job. And she's like, she had no choice but to turn herself in at this point, because Carly's whole thing is, before she ever found out what was so important, she kept begging Jason, like, what is so important that you would not be here for your kids? What is so important that you would leave the people who love you for 2 years and not be here? Like, that, nothing's that important. And she feels that way. Like, she feels like, I'm not that important to give up on your kids like that. Now, these girls, like these women, yes, give up on them, but your kids, no. That has always been Carly's thing. Carly may not like the women that Jason or Sonny have chosen to have children with. Like, she loves Olivia. Let's be clear, she loves Olivia. All the rest of the women, no. But she loves them kids. She loves them kids. And she was like, she didn't mean to turn herself in, but she hadn't been able to control herself when she saw fake Jagger in her lobby. And Sonny is like, what we've all been saying. Okay, Sonny just pointed out that fake Jagger has always resented him for taking care of Stone during Stone's final days, and he's been trying to take me down for 30 years. And that is the case. It's never been about Karen. Let's be clear. If it was about Karen, you would have came back the moment you got in the FBI and really tried to go at Sonny during them days of, like, everybody was down there in Port Charles raising hell when it came to the mob. This was never about Karen. This has always been about the fact that Sonny has always been a better brother to Stone than Jagger ever was. And the fact that you didn't show up for your brother, you only showed up once during the time he was dying, and you didn't come to his funeral, just shows how much you cared about your brother. And it gives that you didn't. And you feel guilt, and your guilt is telling you, well, I just have to go after him because it's going to absolve me of all of this. And that is not the case. It's not going to absolve you of anything. You were a terrible brother when your brother was alive, dumbass. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I'll get into it after this, because this is where we're leading. And he's like, he been trying to take me down for 30 years, but he can't because he doesn't know how. So he pissed, he upset, and he ain't about to take Donna's mother. He not sending Donna's mother to prison, so he leave. So Carly begs the guard to find Dante and tell Dante, come see me. And Dante come up in there, and Carly frantic, and she's like, you need to go find Sonny. He out of control. He went after Kate, and God knows what will happen if, Sonny finds him. Go get your daddy. So back at Pazzulo's, Sonny asked Brick to, find Jagger And Sonny goes to get his gun because they about to have a showdown. So Nina is, going off on her assistant for canceling a meeting with Erica Kane. Oh, I love me some Erica Kane, okay? But she stopped because Michael is in her chair, her office chair, and he being nice. And she's like, what the hell's going on? You being too nice. Okay, something ain't right. So Michael's like, I want a formal introduction to a Congressman McCock. I don't know that man's name. Okay, the congressman. Okay, don't judge me. But he not gonna tell her why. And she like, listen, I'm not about to do nothing until you tell me why. And he was like, I need his help to get Carly out of a situation. And she like, Carly was arrested in the Metro Court lobby. And she was like, well, Michael was like, this is all fake Jagger's fault. He was a rogue FBI agent. And he thought that the congressman could help him. And he just wanted an introduction so he could offer a contribution in exchange for help. And he was like, listen, that's a crime. Nina's like, listen, that's a crime. And I want to be charged as a co-conspirator. And Michael's like, listen, I want you to really know that she's in some real trouble. And her going, like, you're the reason. Like, you are the reason she's in this type of trouble. And as much as people like, Carly's a grown woman, she's in her big age, she needs to take responsibility. Let's be clear on this one more time for the dumbass people in the back. Carly wouldn't have been at that meeting had Jason not been indisposed. And Jason wouldn't have had to go to the meeting either had Nina been forceful and told somebody that Sonny was alive. Sonny would have made that meeting and we wouldn't have had no issues. And Michael explained this like, listen, Carly had gone to the meeting. When you kept Sonny in the secret that he was alive and in Nixon Falls, she had to go to the meeting. And he was like, you can make the last 3 years up with one phone call to the congressman. You can help fix the last 3 years if you make that phone call, and we'll be even. We'll be even, and I'll even tell Willow that you are the hero. We will be even. Now, Nina is tempted, but she wasn't sold. And she like, listen, if the media learns the truth, it's going to hurt Drew's campaign. But then, she finally agrees to do what, he wanted. Now, we get into the fact that Molly and TJ have been drinking dumbass juice in dumbass Landia, living their big, best dumbass lives. Because Christina didn't explicitly say, I'm a surrogate for my sister because my sister has endometriosis and so on and so forth. In her interview with Perez Hilton, she just said that's private and didn't speak no more on it. So TJ and Molly get it in their heads that this is Christina's way of claiming the baby as her own, saying she wants to raise the baby with Blaze, that this is her and Blaze's child, that Christina's going to keep the baby, and that the baby is theirs. And it's just like, no, the baby is Christina's and TJ's until Christina gives up her rights to the child, and then you adopt the baby, and then the baby is yours and TJ's. Do you understand how this works, Miss Lawyer Lady? Okay? And they gone off and how Christina is this and Christina is that, and she's just this awful, horrible person, and she's trying to claim their child and trying to steal their child, and TJ was right about the whole thing, and this is all Christina's fault, and we're going to handle it with the law. Once again, drinking dumbass juice in dumbass Landia. And Christina decides to go over there. Not Christina. Molly decides to go over to Christina's apartment. So when Christina sees Molly, she's like, okay, hi. And Molly is giving cheerful, let's talk about the interview. No, Christina's like cheerful and wanted to talk about the interview, but Molly ain't cheerful. And this confuses Christina because, like, what the hell is going on? So Molly informs Christina that TJ had some concerns, so she wanted her sister to sign the papers right then and there to give up her parental rights to the baby. And it's just like, TJ has concerns and you just go along with it. And I foresee problems ahead with this situation because every time TJ has concerns about your sister, you start to act up, you start to get nasty and rude and mean to her. And it's just like, at some point in time, you're going to need Christina, and Christina ain't going to show up for your ass because the way you treated her in this moment. So Molly is like, oh, you're just relinquishing your parental rights. But Christina starts to go through the paperwork, and she says every page, like every word on this page is terminate, terminate, terminate. Meaning there's no going back. Meaning, God forbid anything happened to y'all, I wouldn't be able to get my child back. And she's like, well, you had already agreed that you would do it after the baby was born. And why won't you sign them? Why won't you sign them early? And Christina finally realized, okay, the problem is how I answered the Perez Hilton's question about the baby bump. And Molly was like, you made it seem like the baby belonged to you and Blaze. And she's like, no, I didn't. Which she didn't. And she was like, I didn't think it was necessary to tell your story on TV since this was not an interview about that, and I gave a vague answer. And she apologizes for apologizes for the words she used while giving her answer. But Molly don't care. She been sipping dumbass juice. Honestly, she ain't sipping it. She drinking it like a college freshman drinking jungle juice at a frat party. Okay, that's how much jungle juice, dumbass juice, Molly has consumed at this point. So she's like, sign the damn papers. And she said, I'm not signing nothing till we talk rationally. Like, get your mind in order. Get in your mind. I'ma get in mind. And we're gonna have a real conversation. And Christina's like, listen, I don't feel like it's the right time to sign my rights away when you and TJ keep having problems. And she wanted to know what would happen to the baby if Molly and TJ broke up. And Molly is floored with this whole situation because she's like, her and TJ have been getting along fine for weeks and have barely argued in years, and we have no intentions of ending this domestic partnership. Instead, she goes on a rant about how Christina's life is tumultuous. What she say to that girl? Oh, you've never been able to keep anyone around for a long-term form relationship, and all you've had is a string of embarrassing, misguided attempts with men, a crush that drove you, she's like, a crush that drove your teacher out of town, a messed up infatuation with a woman who was ashamed of being gay, so she was still in a closet, okay, until her mother, caused a national uproar, and by publicly outing her. And it's just like, I wonder, are these your feelings, Molly, or are these TJ's feelings? Because first and foremost, you know about what happened with Kiefer. He beat the hell out of Christina. And yes, Christina had a crush on Ethan, but Ethan and Christina never went there. Christina came back married and her husband was murdered. So there's that. Also, her and Parker had a relationship. It wasn't a crush. And Christina followed her, but life wasn't life and where Parker was, so she came home. And she's gotten into a long-term relationship with Blaze. It was not an infatuation. They're in love. But Molly ain't. That dumbass juice is strong up in her. So Christina looking at Molly like, oh, well, bitch, tell me how you really feel. And Molly not giving up. She keeps going in on Christina. And she tells her to sign the papers. And Christina once again refuses. Like, what happens if y'all break up? What happens to this baby? And Molly's like, what will it take for you to terminate your parental rights? And she accuses of Christina of not wanting to give the baby up. And Christina just admits it. I do wonder sometimes if Allie and I would make the better parents for this baby right now. And maybe we would prove a more stable home than you and TJ. So there's a knock on the door, and Christina opens it. She sees Natalia standing there. And she leaves, but she makes sure Molly leaves in a hurry, but she leaves them papers. And Natalia asks to see Blaze, but Blaze isn't there. And Natalia's there, she wants to thank Christina for what she said about her on Perez Hilton. And Christina makes it clear that although Natalia was entitled to her opinions, Christina still don't like them. And it's just like, Molly is an ancient sister. Truly. You threw your sister's bad relationships. One, first and foremost, you knew not to throw. Well, you kind of did throw, her bad relationships in her face. She was in an abusive relationship with the first boy she ever, really took seriously. Her husband died. Her first relationship with a woman, it really didn't work out. And the second relationship with a woman, was going fine until her mama outed her, but you got a real problem, and it's legit because TJ's telling you to have a problem. And at the end of the day, Christina has a right to want to know what happens to this child if you and TJ break up, because y'all are in domestic partnership. Domestic partnerships end all the time, and who knows what can happen. I'm still voting for TJ to have a, extra curricular affair with, somebody. But hey, this is a mess. And that was it for them soaps. Don't forget to hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, hit them links in the description box down below. Register to vote, get up to date about everything that's going on, and do your research. Don't let the people tell you what's going on. You do your research so you can understand what's going on for yourself, and get out there and vote in all the little local elections and the big elections as well. And with that being said, I'll see y'all later. Bye.